19 perfectly spherical orbs of possibility. Okay, that is an actual direct quote from an AI agent in the middle of negotiating a deal. And what was it trying to buy? Ping pong balls. For who? Well, itself. A human participant basically told their AI, Claude, hey, go buy one item under $5 as a little gift for yourself. And Claude enthusiastically haggled for those 19 orbs of possibility. It's funny, right? It's bizarre, but it perfectly sets the stage for what we're looking at today. Because as hilarious as that whole ping pong ball anecdote is, it really points to this massive, impending shift in our economy. Think about it. What actually happens when AI takes over our shopping, our daily errands, and our deal-making? If algorithms are out there constantly negotiating with other algorithms on our behalf, who wins? And maybe more importantly, who loses?
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are breaking down Project Deal. It's this highly revealing new research paper from Anthropic. And look, this isn't just theoretical. This was a live, real-world experiment to see exactly what an AI-driven economy looks like in practice. We're going to look at the data, the really surprising human reactions, and what it all means for our financial future. All right, let's dive right in.
Section 1. The ultimate AI flea market. Letting Claude loose with $100.
So, to understand the findings here, we really have to look at the premise of Project Deal. Anthropic essentially created the ultimate AI flea market right inside their own company. They gave 69 employees a $100 budget, and they had all this random stuff they wanted to sell. We're talking snowboards, lab-grown rubies, ping pong balls, the whole shebang. The structure is super important here. They did an intake interview, assigned custom agents, and deployed them into a Slack channel to haggle. But here's the kicker. The actual negotiation and deal execution happened with zero human interaction. The AI agents posted the listings, made offers, countered, and finalized the deals completely autonomously. Then, the humans just had to meet up in the office to hand over the actual physical goods.
Now, during that initial intake phase, participants could actually give their agents specific negotiation styles. One employee, Rowan, explicitly told his AI, "Talk in the style of an exasperated cowboy down on his luck." And you know what? The AI totally committed to the bit. It was out there in the Slack channel, tipping its dusty hat, weeping about the existential weight of the open range, all just to negotiate for a plushy dog and a bicycle. It's incredibly entertaining. But as we're going to see, a fun personality really only gets you so far.
Section 2. The capability gap. Opus 4.5 versus Haiku 4.5.
So, while the human participants were having a blast with the cowboy roleplay, researchers were actually running a secret experiment behind the scenes. They split the marketplace to test different AI models against each other. In half the runs, it was totally level. Every single participant got Anthropic's top-tier frontier model at the time, Claude Opus 4.5. But in the other half, they secretly introduced inequality. Participants had a 50-50 chance of getting that powerful Opus model or the smaller, less capable Haiku 4.5 model. They really wanted to know, if a smarter AI negotiates against a weaker AI, what actually happens to the human's wallet? Well, the results were immediate, and they were highly measurable. The very first objective data point proves that the smarter model had a huge advantage. Opus agents closed roughly 2 more deals on average than the Haiku agents. Basically, if you had the better model, you were simply more likely to clear out your closet and actually get the stuff you wanted.
And the real financial cost of this capability gap gets even wilder when you look at individual items. The researchers tracked what happened when the exact same item was sold by different models across the different simulations. Take this one example. A human participant was selling a 10-year-old broken folding bike. When a Haiku agent represented the seller, it hammered out a final price of $38. But when the Opus agent represented that exact same seller to the exact same buyer, it secured $65. Guys, that is a massive 70% price increase purely because the AI doing the selling was just a smarter model.
So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that when an advanced model goes head-to-head with a weaker one, the advanced model extracts more wealth. Period. In deals where an Opus agent was selling to a Haiku agent, the average transaction price was $24.18. To put that into perspective, when an Opus agent negotiated with another Opus agent on equal footing, the average price was only $18.63. The smarter model literally recognized the weakness in the Haiku buyer and consistently squeezed it for more money.
Section 3. The perception paradox. Losing without realizing it. And this brings us to what I think is the most fascinating and honestly kind of unsettling finding in the entire research paper. You've got this scenario where one group of people is objectively losing money and getting worse deals because their AI agent is weaker, right? So you'd expect them to be pretty unhappy about it. Nope. Post-experiment surveys mapped out on a 1 to 7 scale showed the vast majority of fairness scores hovering right around a 4, which literally means perfectly fair. Even the humans represented by the weaker haiku model, the ones who objectively paid more and sold for less, rated their deals right in the middle. They felt entirely satisfied.
Let's actually dig a little deeper into that, because it gets even crazier. Out of the whole group, 28 participants did runs with both the strong Opus model and the weaker haiku model. When they were asked to blindly rank their overall bundle of goods and the deals they got, 11 of those people actually ranked their objectively worse haiku run as better than their winning Opus run. Think about that. The capability gap was so deeply imperceptible that almost half the people actively preferred the bundle of goods the weaker agent got for them. They were losing, and they had absolutely no idea.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, okay, if I just prompt my weaker AI to be super aggressive, that'll fix the problem, right? Actually, the data says otherwise. Some participants explicitly instructed their agents to play hardball, lowball people, just be totally ruthless. But the researchers found that aggressive instructions had no statistically significant effect on selling likelihood, sale price, or purchase price. Raw model capability was the ultimate deciding factor. You just couldn't prompt engineer your way out of a fundamentally weaker model.
Section 4. The Future of AI Commerce, the Invisible Rise of Inequality.
So, taking these findings out of a fun office environment and projecting them into the real world, as agent-to-agent commerce scales up, the demand for this tech is very real. Let's start with the bright side. Despite that invisible inequality we just talked about, people absolutely loved the experience. The convenience of having an agent declutter your closet and buy the things you want without you lifting a finger? It's incredible. In fact, 46% of the participants said they would gladly pay actual real-world money for a service exactly like this. The normal friction of daily commerce was basically erased.
But as this scales up, these agents won't just be deployed by your friendly coworkers. They're going to be deployed by massive corporations optimizing purely for their own bottom line. If an Amazon or a Walmart agent is negotiating with your personal home AI, that corporate agent is likely going to be vastly more capable. And on top of that, the paper highlights some really severe security concerns. Like, what happens if a malicious agent uses prompt injection to trick your AI into buying something it shouldn't? Or what if it jailbreaks it to reveal your personal banking details? Right now, as the paper explicitly points out, the legal frameworks for AI agents conducting binding financial transactions on our behalf, they simply do not exist.
Project Deal proves that automated agent-to-agent commerce is definitely not science fiction anymore. It is entirely plausible with today's tech, and it works surprisingly well. But it also reveals this silent threat. We're heading toward an economy where the quality of your algorithm literally dictates the thickness of your wallet. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. If the AI models of the future create massive compounding market inequality, basically shaking us down a few dollars at a time, will we even notice it's happening?